Fast, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we do every weekday, starting around 1 p.m. and going throughout the afternoon with a wide range of topics. And I think that's certainly indicative of what we have written right there on the screen, talking about magicians and mentalists, in particular one. That is Joe Skilton, who stopped by the studio here earlier today. He was in town for an event here in Portland. And you know what? When you get the opportunity to interview a magician and mentalist, of course, you're going to take that up. I mean, you have to. Why not, right? So that's part of the wide-ranging coverage that we have here this afternoon. There's plenty more coming up this later on today. But I want to go ahead and run this right now. I want to find out how one gets into this. And I will say there are some things that he showed during it that I know it's part of the act, but I cannot figure out how he did it. So this is part of it. Let's jump right into it. Here's my interview with Joe. Going to go.
Yeah, and there is a lot. I love the David.
And this is part of the magic right now.
All right, so I think what a lot of people, or at least what I always like to know, is how someone gets into the career that they chose. And magician and mentalist, that is an interesting one. So how does one decide, like, this is my career path?
I came to it a bit circuitously, I suppose. I was always interested in magic as a little kid. And I've always been fascinated with the way people think. When I was in college, I majored in advertising and marketing. Why do people choose Coke over Pepsi, Toyota over Honda? How can you get them to go on the paths you want them to go on?
Yeah.
Right? But it still feels like a free choice. And so I was interested in magic. I loved the David Copperfield specials on TV.
Loved David Copperfield.
He was the coolest guy. You know. And then in college, I had a lonely senior year. My wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, she graduates a year ahead of me, and I buy a book of card tricks so I could just learn a few tricks at the bar, maybe get a free beer. Maybe that was the goal. That was very modest aims.
Yeah.
And
achievable, maybe.
Achievable, yeah. And I come out, I work in advertising for a couple of years, and then magic just kind of takes over my life. And I joined a club called the Magic Castle, which is in Hollywood. And it's the most famous.
Yes, I have heard of this.
Yeah, it's like the most famous magic club in the world. Everybody you've ever heard of is a member. Suit and tie, 21 and up, very sophisticated, very elegant. And I won a very, very minor award there for a walk-around magic, cocktail party style.
Okay.
Chris Angel presented it to me.
Wow.
Yeah, from Las Vegas. And so that kind of gave me the impetus to quit the day job. And I've been doing it now full-time for 19 years. 19 years.
19 years out doing this. I mean, number one, I want to go to the Magic Castle and just see what happens in there. But I realize I'm not a magician or mentalist. Yeah. So you've been doing it for 19 years. So you just decided, this is my career. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And go out there and do it. And so, tell us about that. Like, what is it like being out there as a magician and a mentalist?
Well, it's funny because a lot of people.
And also, I want to know the difference between the two. We'll get to that one here in a second.
Sure. Well, a lot of people ask me, oh, do you want to perform in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Would you like to be in Las Vegas and do that? And my answer is always actually no.
Really?
I live in Los Angeles, and right now I kind of travel all over the country, and I do corporate events, which sounds really boring. Sales meetings, awards, banquets, fundraisers. You think, oh, that just sounds kind of whatever. But they're actually genuinely great audiences. Everybody's having a great time. They're not going to get too drunk because the boss is there.
Good point.
And so it's really great. I kind of view it as like it's kind of my mission in life to bring a little wonder to people. Because, the older we get kind of set in our ways. We see a little less wonder day to day. And this kind of reminds people that, really almost anything is possible when you think about it.
Yeah.
And to answer your question on the magic and mentalism thing. So I like to think of mentalism as taking magic and psychology and combining them to create the illusion of mind reading.
Wow. So trying to not guess is probably the wrong word, but understand where somebody's thinking is going to go.
Yeah, and there is a lot of guessing. There's definitely some guessing. Yeah, I take a lot of chances when I do it because I think you can have some amazing hits sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's for me, it's it's not just that kind of theatrical mind reading thing. You're also trying to predict what decisions people are going to make.
Right.
You're trying to read their body language, little micro expressions.
Oh yeah.
There's all these little.
Now I'm thinking about everything that I'm doing here right now.
Exactly. Poker players. Study those guys. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Does that help you out actually in poker?
What's funny? I'm very good at reading people. I'm very bad at math. So there's a whole math component to knowing what my odds are with a hand.
Yeah.
Horrible. Horrible at poker.
Well, still, still a good trait to have, I'm
Nobody
sure.
wants to play with me, though.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
why. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm thinking about everything that's going on right now. Well, so tell us about some of these different things that you do, because I mean, and I don't know if we want to do any demonstrations or
Sure.
showing that. Would you be able to?
I would absolutely be happy to do
All right.
that.
How do we start? What do we?
Well, let's start with just kind of a mental exercise. We'll
Okay.
try this.
All right.
This is kind of cool. I got business cards marketing.
Yes. There you go.
But I'm gonna go ahead and, Greg, I'm gonna write this down here.
Okay.
Greg, I want you to imagine, and we're just gonna do this in your mind.
Okay.
That you're going to go on a trip, and you can go anywhere in the world.
All right.
Anywhere at all. It doesn't matter which. But I have bad news for you.
Okay.
And the bad news, sir, is that your luggage is going to get lost. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's going to get lost.
All right.
But we'll get to that in a minute. So you
Okay.
can travel anywhere in the world that you'd
Yes.
like to go to.
Okay.
Where would you like to go to?
I want to go to Rome.
Rome.
Yeah.
So you're going to go to Rome. You're flying in, you land,
Yes.
you go to the little baggage carousel,
Yep.
and as you're going into Rome, you realize that your bags aren't there. It's that
Okay.
feeling in the pit of our stomach that we really, really hate.
Right.
The question is, where did your bags go? Now, before you go any further, I'm going to write another thing here, and this is my guess on
Okay.
your luggage.
Okay.
And I'm going to underline this. I'm going to put this right here. Luggage is in red. Rome is in black. This is
Okay.
the idea. Now, of course, you didn't get to decide where your luggage went. They messed it up.
Right.
I have a list in my phone of the top 100 travel destinations.
Okay.
According to travelandleisure.com.
All right.
Give me any number from 1 to 100.
I'll go with 23.
23. Keep me honest here. This is my phone. Can you see
Yep.
this right here? There's my. You can click on it if you want. That's my notes app.
Yep.
And right at the top, there's lost luggage.
Lost luggage.
You can show the camera. They're all different. We've got a ton of different locations that could be.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
There's a bunch of, probably can't even show up. There's a whole bunch of locations.
100.
It really is 100 locations on
Scroll.
there.
What was your number again? I don't remember.
23.
Yeah, you can scroll. What's at 23?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. So pretty far from Rome.
Yeah.
At least it's in Europe.
Yeah, it's in Europe.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's no way I could have known you'd say 23.
Yeah.
There's no way I could have known you'd say Rome.
No.
Right? So the whole idea with mentalism is to try to look at people, make a couple guesses, what they might say, all of that jazz.
Yeah.
I don't know how to show you this, but I'll let you hold it up. That says Greg goes to Rome.
Greg goes to Rome.
And believe it or not, your luggage is in Amsterdam.
Oh, come on. All right, it does say Amsterdam on there. I don't know what's going on. Mind reading, somebody's involved here. But, and ironically, that would have been the other place I would have chosen to go as well if I wasn't Rome.
You don't
Amsterdam
say.
was the second one, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that's crazy.
Well, let's try something else.
All right.
We'll try something else.
All right.
This is something you can do.
Okay, yeah.
So-
Yeah, that's awesome. Is
You
there
know,
something that,
I think this
something
would
that I
be-
can do on my coworkers here later.
Yes,
Some mental-
exactly. So this is a true story. Where did I put it? Hold on. Here we go. This is a true story.
Okay.
At Duke University in the 1930s, they created these symbols. And actually, they didn't create them. This has been around for a while. But they used these symbols to test for psychic ability. And I know that
Okay.
sounds crazy now, right?
Sure.
But radio was a thing. Radio
Yeah.
was a thing. TV was on the horizon. Hey, can we transmit a thought? And if you
Right.
saw Ghostbusters with Bill Murray, you've seen these symbols. The movie opens with Bill
Yeah.
Murray. He's got these symbols out, and he's literally like, which one am I thinking of? And every time the guy guesses wrong, he gets an electric shock.
Yes.
We're going to do that. We're going to do that again.
Okay.
No shocks for you. I
No
promise.
shocks. All right.
We got two symbols. These are exactly identical. These are completely the same. Mix yours up.
Okay.
The study at Duke showed that everybody had psychic ability, but the study was flawed.
Okay.
Massively flawed. They didn't mix up the cards enough.
Okay.
The human mind is really good at pattern recognition,
Okay.
even on a subconscious level. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take one out, and I'm looking around. It doesn't look like the cameras can see, so I'm going to
Okay.
put this right down here on the table. Did you see what that one was?
I did not see.
Here, you know what? Would it be okay if I scooched over just a little bit?
Sure.
I'll scooch over this way. This way, it's a little more fair.
Okay, all right.
And look over your cards, all of them.
Okay.
You're going to try to make your best guesses what you think this card is. And
Okay.
you're going to place a card face down like a mirror image
Okay.
right over there,
All
whatever
right.
you think it is.
Okay.
And I want to be very clear. This is completely fair and above board. I always go first. I'll put another one down. Put another one down. Make it a
Okay.
conscious choice. Don't go random. If you
Okay.
go random, it's a guess. Guesses have a big chance of failure.
Okay.
You were thinking on that.
I was thinking on it. All right.
Here we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna match. I'm just continuing to match what your card is that you're putting down.
And even if I had a camera behind you,
right,
it wouldn't matter because I already put mine down first.
You put it down first.
That's the thing. And you've got 2 left. Yeah. Can you do me a favor? Hold one in each hand.
Okay.
You're just gonna hold one in each hand like this. Remember, I said a mirror image.
Yes.
Take these. Turn them over and put them right on the table.
Okay, and just to show this to the camera here, they are matching mirror image.
Matching mirror image.
Exactly what I had just done.
And you know, for these 3 here, we'll show the camera a little more. I'll pick those up, like a group.
There we go. We got the above shot. Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
Oh, we've got an above shot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool. Look at this. Here, we'll do this. We'll go 1. Here, hold on. Right there. There, 2.
What?
3.
All right, I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That is great.
You matched me 5 for 5.
5 for 5.
Well done.
5 for 5 matching. Okay, so this is mentalism.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it. You know, it's a little bit of magic. It's a little bit of psychology. You know, it's very important. I think it's very important to be really honest with people. You know, I don't claim to have any kind of
psychic powers.
And no mentalists really do. You know, this is about entertainment. It's about fun, getting people laughing, clapping, having a great time. Yeah. You know, and maybe getting to think a little outside the box.
Right. I mean, this is amazing. And so, how long is it when you're performing? How long do you generally perform?
You know, my shows are very flexible, but I'll typically do. You know, last night I was doing a private event up here in Portland, which is why I'm in town. Right. And we just did a full hour. You know. Yeah. But I find 45 minutes to an hour is usually a sweet spot. People sometimes they come to me like, oh, we want a 2-hour show. I'm like, even in Vegas, it's 75 minutes. Right. And there's an intermission. Yeah. Like, you don't want 2 hours.
Well, I mean, doing this for 19 years, I mean, that was amazing right there, however you did that. You know, what is it about going back out there and continuing to do it that keeps drawing you to this? You know, traveling all around the country, performing in front of people. Like, what is it for you?
Well, you know, the way I like to think about it, I don't think people, even though I do this professionally, I don't think they pay me for the shows. They pay me for the travel. They pay me for the hotels and the hassles and the luggage, right? The shows are free. Yeah. Not really, but kind of. Yeah. It's, you know, it's for me, what makes it amazing is that look on people's face the moment you blow their minds. When their jaws hit the floor and they go, like, that's everything. Yeah. It's just the most addictive thing in the world to me. And when you can get an entire group of people, maybe they just finished dinner, they're waiting for the awards, it's a banquet, what have you, and you're able to energize them and get them clapping or screaming. It's just incredible.
That's amazing. You found what you love.
I found what I love.
And you're doing it.
I am incredibly fortunate. My wife's a published author, and so between the two of us, we have half of a real job.
Man, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Too. I think my last question here, you know, since you've been doing this, you're successful. For somebody out there who's maybe just starting out in the world of being a magician or a mentalist, what would you recommend to them at home?
Well, there's a couple things I'd recommend. If you want to get into magic, one of my absolute favorite all-time books in magic is called The Amateur Magician's Handbook. Okay. You can find this online. And a lot of people, they say, oh, amateur magician, I want professional stuff. No, there's some great stuff in that book. Yeah. Another great book for card magic is Royal Road to Card Magic. Okay. It's a Dover publication, under $10 in any Barnes & Noble, Amazon. If you're interested in mentalism, I'd say it's probably best to get a good firm grasp of magical thinking, you know, how to misdirect people, how to entertain an audience. Mentalism is the most advanced form of magic. It's the hardest thing to pull off. Yeah. So I do recommend, you know, learn to walk before you run. Right. But a great book that I always really love is a book called What Everybody is Saying. Everybody is 2 words. Yeah. And it's by a guy named Joe Navarro. He's a former FBI guy. And it's all about reading people and body language. Really fun book.
Oh, man. Okay. I think I'm definitely in. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today. And for everybody out there, too, who wants to find out more about you or book you for their next gig. Oh, sure. For the next event. How do they do that?
Sure. Well, you can find me at joeskilton.com. joeskilton.com. That's my website. And, you know, all my contact info is there. And, yeah, I travel nationwide. That'd be fun.
Joe, this is awesome. Thank you so much for coming in.
So very much. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I don't know how you did that. It's still bothering me. All right. Again, a huge thank you to Joe for joining us here for that segment. That was a lot of fun. And I'll tell you what, if you're watching live on the Fox 12 Oregon app, which I definitely recommend that you do so, we've got another little piece that we're going to play here in just a minute. But if you're watching everywhere else, thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. Again, this is Fox 12 Now. We are live here every weekday. We cover a wide range of topics. There's plenty more coming up here this afternoon if you're watching here on this Wednesday. More at 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30. We've got stuff happening all afternoon. So I will be back for that. So just wherever you found me, go ahead and go to that platform. Don't forget you can share these segments later as well. So feel free to do so. And yeah, again, a huge thank you to Joe. And I will have more here on the app live in just a moment. For everybody else, I'll see you later for the app. I'll talk to you here in just a few.